Hello everyone, look how far away I am from the camera. Welcome to Picko's Pitwalk for the 2022 London E-Prix. It's Friday, we've just had FP1, but the real action's coming tomorrow. And yeah, we are on the grid, look at this. But we are going to head into the pit lane shortly, don't worry, and chat about all the teams and drivers. But yes, I'm delighted to say, look, I have a cameraman, he's behind the camera. You're going to see more of him over the weekend, Jack Jormainer. Let's get on with Picko's pit walk. We're just going to head back in because we're on the circuit. We're not on the pit walk yet. So let's come on through. And look, no wires or anything. This is all Jack's equipment. I'm using it because it's getting far too late, and yeah, it's just quicker, isn't it? All right then. Let's start as we traditionally do with Neo. So finished 18th and 21st in FP1 earlier this evening. We spoke to Dan. He's so looking forward to this weekend. It's his first non-home race out. So it's the first race that's in London, not at Silverstone. I'll get my words out properly. So yeah, no, he's so excited to look at. He's so excited for this weekend. He's got his family here this weekend. The track evolution is one thing that he thinks is going to be. It's going to play a massive part this weekend in terms of how racing will happen. I'm just still gassed that I have a cameraman. Like this is proper Tez note, but I've got notes this time. I never have notes. Like I have to memorise everything because I've got a selfie stick in one hand and a microphone in another hand. I get to read my notes this week. It's fantastic. So yeah, from one team who's usually towards the back to the other team, which is Dragon. However, FP1, Sergio Sette Camara topped the session. Antonio Giovinazzi P4, an absolutely fantastic result for these guys, and they think that this weekend that they do have a chance. Because qualifying, they seem to be okay, but in the race they usually tend to fall away, and they usually finish somewhere around 15th, 16th, or pull into the pit lane just before the end. But the thing is with this circuit, with the changes that they've made, it's going to be hard to overtake this weekend, and that could fall in their favour, and they could get their best result of the season so far. So there's a chance for them to score points, which is really, really exciting, because that would mean that we'd have all 11 teams on the board this weekend. We'll move on to Nissan. Where, I've noted this down because I'm not sure if you remember, but I did speak to Seb Wemy in Monaco, and he said the team has stopped development, and what the car was then is what we're going to have for the rest of the year. So the multiple points finishes that they've had since that basically has been with a car that hasn't been updated in about 3 months, which is extraordinary. Either that or Seb was telling a few fibs, who knows. But yeah, Seb was P6 in practice TA, Max Gunter P4. We spoke to Seb earlier. He says that qualifying is going to be the number one priority this weekend, because yeah, it's just going to be a hard track to overtake on. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Actually, I'm going to walk round because Jack's facing that way. That's the thing. Like Jack can go and have a little wander whilst I just talk about stuff. Mahindra. I have to scroll down. Hang on. I've written too much. The box is too little. Here we go. Roland P13, Simsy 22nd. We did speak to Simsy earlier before P1. He just says that the reason why he's calling it a day in FE is just because the series has changed so much, and it's just not for him now, because he can have good and bad days and not know why he's so good or so bad, and so yeah, he's going to be focusing on endurance, I think, next season, but he will be very much missed. But this is his last home race. This is, 4 races to go with Simsy. Mahindra did win here last year, but if you're expecting a repeat performance of that, oh, Jack. I'm hoping that the camera didn't go too low there. Porsche, P7 for Pascal Wehrlein, P11 for Andre Lotterer in P1. Qualifying this year has genuinely been fantastic for Porsche. They're the only team to make it into every single. They're the only team to make it to the quarterfinals in every single race this year. It could be very good for them, considering that, as you will tell, because literally all my comments are, you're going to struggle to overtake this weekend. So Porsche might be in for a good haul of points because, you can't overtake this weekend. And we are now just going to walk. I'm going to walk behind it so you get to see where the cars will line up tomorrow after the race has finished. So you will see first, second and third line up here, and they've been practicing the celebrations for Jaguar. So if Jaguar do win tomorrow, bias, isn't it? Yeah. Venturi. We spoke to Mortara. We were going to speak to Degrassi, but ran out of time, unfortunately. Edo, obviously, he was leading the championship going into New York. Lost that lead in the championship. However, he said it's crucial not to make mistakes in the run-up to the final 4 races, and he ended FP1 with a little spin. Good job, Edo. They've got the Mercedes powertrain. Mercedes were quick here last year. Basically, it's the results that Nick de Vries had here last year basically sealed him the championship. So that power unit in that car, it's done wonders this year. So I expect that to do more. And obviously, Lucas Degrassi, he had that race here last year, didn't he? Where he kind of won it. Like he crossed the line first after driving through pit lane and overtaking everyone. But it's okay, that loophole's shut now, so it's unlikely to happen again. Andretti, another one of the race winners last year, Jay Dennis, he won here last year in race 1. He doesn't think that it's going to be that kind of performance again this weekend, but he is so excited to be in front of his home crowd. I'm going to quote him and say he is buzzing. He's so excited. Oliver Askew, he obviously had his home race last time out. I don't think it went amazing. I don't think he picked up any points in New York, but the Andretti team, if they're aiming to be there or thereabout this weekend again. So someone who did have an amazing weekend in New York is the Envision Racing team. Nick Casti obviously picking up that win on the first day with Robin Freins on the podium as well. Nick then got pole on the second day, and then was told live on air that he was starting from the back of the grid, and that was really uncomfortable to watch. Nick's been on fire recently. Envision had a mega weekend in New York. Nick said that the surface changes will throw up a lot of challenges, but I think the performance they've had recently, they should be there or thereabout. Casti P3, Freins P16 in FP1, but it is just FP1. I mean, you can't really take anything for granted at the end of that. So, who really knows what's going to happen this weekend to them? DS to Cheetah. I interviewed Costa, and then I didn't turn the microphone on properly. So I've had a great day. Earlier on, I went to Amersham to pick up my laptop charger because I left it in Oxford. It's been a great day. I want to go home. So these guys, I mean, they took advantage of what happened to Nick Casti on the Sunday in New York, and Acosta took Techeetah's first win after knocking on the door so many times this season. They finally got that win. I did speak to Da Costa, and I do remember what he said, even though I didn't turn the mic on. He's been on a good run of form, but he's still happy to play second fiddle to Jev. Obviously, Jev is just 27 points off the championship lead, whereas Da Costa, I think, is just under 50 points, I want to say, in the championship. But yeah. Well, you know what they say about London buses. They have waited so long for one victory. Maybe another one can come this weekend. Right, Jaguar, the team that have the race pace, and they've always said that this year they have had such amazing pace in the race, but in qualifying they haven't been there or thereabout. Admittedly, Sam Bird's been more off the pace in qualifying than Mitch has, but it does mean that this weekend could prove not the best home race for the Jaguar team. I'm happy to be proved wrong, but qualifying is key, and they do need to nail qualifying tomorrow to make sure that they are in the hunt, because overtaking is difficult, because they've so as you will see on the Jack John Maynard track walk that you can head onto our channel and watch, they have taken away that double S section, like the back-to-back hairpins that they had last year. They replaced it with a relatively quick chicane, and the assumption is we've lost an overtaking opportunity, which is a shame, because that was a fantastic run into there. I think that they could have tightened the chicane a bit more, but alas, that's what happened. And so, yeah, Evans P2 in FP1, Bird P9. So yeah, we'll see what that translates into tomorrow, and then we come to the Mercedes team. Van Dorn obviously leading the championship. They finished P5 and P8 in FP1 today. Qualifying is more important this weekend because of the lack of overtaking. That's what Stoff said, and the strat with attack mode will be very important. Obviously, we don't know what the strategy will be until as the track PA turns on for the first time in a while, and it means that I can't think. Anyways, strat with attack mode will be very important. They ran 2 times 8 minutes last year, but yeah, it could be any. But Stoff said no more than 2 attack modes will be necessary. But they will be in the hunt. The 2 second places that Nick de Vries had here last year basically sealed him the title. So I'm more than expecting that's going to be in the hunt. And we have got, we've reached the end of the pit lane. However, let me tell you, we've got so much content for you this weekend. Not only will I be doing my pit walks, we're going to have an FEZ show tomorrow night after the first race, and on the Sunday night after the second race, and hopefully England have won the Euros, the Women's Euros. Yeah, it's yeah, we have to wrap this up because it's too loud, but we're going to have multiple interviews because we've got 2 people on site this weekend. There's going to be so much content for you this weekend. Get subscribed, get liking, get commenting, and we will see you tomorrow for the first London E-Prix round 13 of the championship.